Hello, Nikki from Change Frame here. Thanks for joining me. I like to take the opportunity every now and again to just talk through some specific life scenarios and examples where Change Frame can really have a positive impact in helping people through change. So there's the situation of Melissa. Melissa was early to mid 20s, recently married, really keen to leap in and start a family, which is just beautiful. But what Melissa recognised is bringing a baby into the household is going to bring about some changes, no doubt. A very wise girl, Melissa. So in going through the Change Frame process, when it comes to things like starting a family, the first place that we started with Change Frame was being really clear on the real why. Because even the reasons that can sit behind why people want to have a baby can vary. Yes, obviously I want to have a baby, but what's the real reason? For some people it's about being a better parent than they felt their parents were, or bringing a human into the world to help them affect positive change into society. So there are many reasons why people have a baby. And I would hazard a guess that not many people actually take the time to really sit down and understand, what's my reason? What's my driver? Not just the biological, this is what we're here to do, I'm ticking a box. From the Change Frame perspective, it's really important, and the change of bringing a baby into your life, which I'm sure most people who've had children will say it's possibly the biggest change to your life that you'll ever experience, then it can't be underestimated. And yet, from my perspective, ironically, it can be one of the least contemplated and reflected on decisions in society, in that it can either happen by accident or it happens as I went to uni, I got a job, I got married, we got a house, we have a baby. It becomes a checkbox on a list that simply gets ticked. So kudos to Melissa for actually recognising the significance and the gravity of a change such as bringing a baby into the world. So it was about understanding what was the real driver behind, for Melissa in her situation, having a baby. And for Melissa, what became clear when she was looking at her real why was she'd had a beautiful childhood. She'd had lots of siblings and cousins and a really beautiful, strong sense of family that she grew up in. And for her, it was really important to replicate that and to do her family history and lineage the service of continuing that through for the next generation. So in identifying that was what was really important for Melissa around having a baby, we were then able to look at, well, what was that going to mean, and how could she go about creating the environment where that was really going to be what the outcome was for her in the long run. So in doing that, again, the reflecting forwards process, where she simply was able to sort of sit back, put herself on the other side of having the children, having the family, and really articulate what that looked and felt like, what was different, what stops, what starts, the good, the bad, the ugly. So this is about bringing it all to the table, understanding that I am going to start having very sleepless nights. I am going to start being really cranky sometimes because I haven't slept. My husband is going to continue getting up and going to work whilst I'm dealing with dirty nappies. So it's really about unpicking the situation, not just the beautiful holding the gurgling baby and life's going to be wonderful. Yes, those moments happen, but in the early days, there are certainly, I would argue, many more days where you are up to your elbows in washing or dirty nappies and life is not so glamorous. So for Melissa, what we were able to do was actually to sort of just bring some of the warts and all to life. And what that did for her was actually gave her the opportunity to just mentally process and be ready for that before it happened. Because what can happen in some situations is when that scenario arises, it brings with it stress, and there's tiredness, and there's frustration, and then arguments start, and this is where things can really start to become fractured. So kudos to Melissa for recognising that there was a little bit more to this baby having process than many people would think at the outset. So armed with those strategies around recognising that there were going to be these situations of stress, she was able to actually talk to her husband about, hey, how are we going to deal with these times? I'm going to be tired. You're going to want dinner. You're going to want to go out with the boys. So looking at what all those scenarios were together in a place where there was no emotional charge to it. So rather than waiting for the situation to arise amidst feelings of frustration and tiredness and crankiness, they were able to actually look at those situations and scenarios and agree some strategies of how they would handle them. And this is before baby's even on the scene. So here we have a very mature couple who are actually approaching the situation with eyes wide open, and kudos to them. So the other thing that Melissa was able to explore was not just the warts and all, obviously, but looking at what did this family environment look like? So what were the things that were going to need to be in place to enable that ultimate outcome of a really nice, big, loving, strong family? So it even went down to things like, we're living in an apartment at the moment. Hey, we're going to have to really start thinking about how we're, moving to a bigger space. We need the space for for this family to thrive and be messy and be happy and beautiful and all the things that she was envisaging. She recognized how important that is. So that then starts to feature in their life plans. So by going through the change frame process with this little simple thing, I'm going to have a baby, seemingly simple for some, she was able to identify all of the other aspects of her life and we're looking forward 2, 5, 10 years from now, but that gave her and her husband a plan. And again, change frame process finishes with an action plan where we look at all of those specific things that you are taking responsibility for stopping or starting, and actually how you're going to achieve that at a micro level in a way that works for you. So if you're in a situation where you're possibly contemplating having a baby, or that's going to be something that will happen down the track for you, I would strongly encourage you to really think about what that change is going to mean in your life. And Change Frame is a great way to do that. Pop over to my website, nikkiingram.com. You can grab my free ebook when you sign up for newsletters and updates, or roll up your sleeves and really get down and dirty with the process by coming along to a workshop. The details are all on the website, and I'd love to see you there. Thanks for your time.